Hey y'all, it's your girl V with Reality Recap here for another great tea session. Happy Sunday, and yes, your eyes are not deceiving you. Y'all know how I do on Sunday. I'm in my pajamas, clean pajamas. Yes, I took a shower, all those things, but I am in last year's family PJs. It's about that time, Thanksgiving is over. We're getting ready for Christmas. And I pulled them out. I said, why not on this chill Sunday? So I am here for none other than Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Tea Talk, where I will be recapping the latest episode from this past week. Let's get into it. I have my notes up. This is a pre recorded session. So please make sure that you guys like, share, subscribe, tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend. And don't forget, all reality TV news, gossip, what's happening in these streets are all on my Instagram and Facebook. So make sure you're following me there so that you are up to date on all reality news. Now let's get into it. Now we started off this last episode. This is episode 2 of the season. We start off pretty much where we left off with Dorit and Kyle trying to have a conversation at Sutton's event. And to be honest, I'm loving how Dorit is coming in hot, right? Like she is not taking any shit from Kyle, and I'm here for it. I truly feel like bottom line is with Dorit, Dorit really took offense to the comments that were made on the Amazon Live that Kyle said that it was, like almost as if the friendship was exaggerated. And she took offense to that, saying that she threw away in one second, and with her words, she threw away 8 years of a deep bonded sisterhood friendship. And Kyle is coming up with these excuses that honestly I don't believe. She's saying that she was hurt by BravoCon, where Dorit struggled to answer who's her favorite sister. Was it Kathy or Kyle? And I think really she was just, like she said, being cheeky, funny, and she was kind of playing around like, "Ooh, gee, I don't know." And when Kyle spilled the water on her, it was more so like, "Okay, well, now you're not the favorite sister." It was more of a joke. And I don't believe that that's her reason why she has said those comments or were upset with Dorit. And I think Dorit was onto something. She calls bullshit, and she's really saying, like, no, you were more upset about what I said on Watch What Happens Live, where I said that we've grown apart since you and Morgan have gotten closer. And I agree with Dorit. And real talk, I also believe that Kyle was cutting everyone off and not close to anyone that would be able to get close to or sniff a whiff of what was happening between her and Morgan. That's the real thing, in my opinion, that Kyle was trying to have this relationship secretly, even though she brought on the show and she wants her to think that they're friends, as if, they're friends just like her and any of her other girlfriends. Dorit was someone that was close to her in her friend circle and that would probably sense that something was going on, allegedly more than what met the eye. And, speculating like, okay, look, you're acting weird. You're doing these music videos. You and Mo aren't really communicating. We used to hang out all the time, double date. We're not doing that. And she cut her off for that reason. That's what I truly believe. And I do feel like Dorit is standing on business. She is not really, like I said, taking any bullshit, but we'll talk about it a little later. But I want her to have some of her frustration, anger. I feel like, she's taking this stand. She's stronger than ever. Needs to be directed at PK too. Like, don't just take that stance with your friendships and with Kyle. You need to, some of that energy, in my opinion, is misdirected. And we need to make sure it's an even split of that frustration between Kyle and PK. Those are truly my thoughts. But I am glad to see her coming in hot, standing on business. And usually she yapping and it ain't about nothing. This time she yapping talking, and she standing on business, like I said. So this yapping I could take. So we also get to know Bose a little bit more this episode, and she truly is a boss. I'm really enjoying exposed, not just because she brings a different culture to the show. I love to see another chocolate woman on the show, but she's lighthearted, she's fun. I feel the same way Dorit feels about her and what she said, just a true boss as we get to know, just the companies that she's worked for, Pepsi, Netflix, as, like in CEO type roles. I'm really just she's just an inspiration, honestly. And her being in corporate America, sharing her story of how, they called her in and saying, like, oh, you're not hitting it out the park. You haven't had enough home runs. And she didn't like that feeling. And she turned it around and became her own boss because she didn't want to dread answering emails. She didn't want to have someone have those type of like yearly review conversations with her and kind of downplay or make her feel bad about her performance. And more than she knows, I really connected with that story. It was inspiring to me, especially with me wanting my podcast to grow. It was truly, truly inspiring to me. And I'm just really enjoying getting to know her. I just think she's fun. She's with boss. She's in her bag. We saw her doing her speaking engagements, her workshops, and inspiring other women of all different cultures, backgrounds, races. It was really truly amazing to see. And I honestly was ashamed of myself that I didn't know who she was before this show. I had never heard of her. Honestly, just, being honest, I had not heard of her. And I was like, wow, how did this woman fly under the radar for me? I guess, real talk, you just think that CEOs of like, or, in that executive heads of Pepsi, Netflix, et cetera, the companies she worked for, you think of them being white males. So I would have never guessed, honestly, that she would be in that role. And it was just truly, truly inspiring. So I'm really enjoying getting to know her and even learning more about her family that, her husband passed away from cancer when her daughter was just turning 4 years old. Um, and how that, she turned her pain into purpose. And I really, really, like I said, I can't say enough about her, guys, but I'm really enjoying getting to know her. We also see Kyle and Sutton meet up, and I feel like Sutton was trying to school Kyle, like, look, you need to file for divorce. You need to go see a divorce lawyer. And Kyle is just kind of like, what? No, this is going to be the most amicable, however you say it, divorce. I guess let's use a simpler term that I can pronounce. A more peaceful divorce than you've ever seen or imagined. If I had a nickel for every time I heard that on a Housewives or a reality TV show, period, where they think that divorce is going to be so peaceful, I'd be a millionaire like both. Okay. So I just feel like Kyle's being a bit naive. Even if that is the case, that it's going to be a 50-50 split in everything, including his real estate agency, I would still think you want to see a lawyer and get that in writing. And if there's anybody that you want to listen to when it comes to divorce advice, would be Sutton. Sutton's getting what out of her spousal support, like 350K a month. I would definitely be trying to hire her same lawyer. I would definitely be taking heed to her advice. But Kyle just seems head in the clouds. I don't know if she truly thinks that this marriage is over. Parts of me feel like she's still holding on to it, just seeing how sad she was this episode. I don't know what it is, but I agree with Sutton. It's time to get your head out the clouds, get to business, and make sure that you are covered financially, because at the end of the day, Kyle was with him before he made it this big. If she did provide any support and helping his real estate agency grow, etc., you should have that on paper, not just, oh, he said it in a book, or like like Sutton said, I don't think a book can be held as evidence in divorce court. I don't know that he just gave you some props in a book or said it in an interview. If he did put it in the book and said it in the interview, then he should have no problem putting that into legal documentation. So I'm on Sutton's side with this. I really think that Kyle needs to wake up and splash some reality on her face. We do see both um in that conversation as well. Kyle is talking to Sutton about her situation with Dorit. And again, I just don't, I'm my gut intuition. I don't believe that Kyle is upset for the reasons that she's given at Dorit. Like I said, I really think that she was cutting her off so she can hang out with Morgan and no one be able to tell her business. And we also see Dorit telling her side as well. Dorit and Erica, they go over Bo's house. First of all, when Bo's told them at the door, take your shoes off, they both were so surprised. But in Black culture, that is so us, to be honest with you. Like my grandmother, my best friend's grandmother, even here at my house with my father, he has, a lot of health providers coming here, nurses checking on him and stuff like that. And I have like the covers at the door for them to cover their shoes. We just don't believe in wearing your shoes that you wear outside on the ground with everything on the ground, trekking that through your house, especially if you have small children and things like that. But it just was so us. And it just made me relate to her more. And I was like, she feels like a person that just hasn't. Can you tell I love this woman already? But it just feels like she's made it, but has not forgotten where she comes from or forgotten her roots, her core, her values. That's just the vibe that she gives me. So when they were like, oh, I gotta take my shoes off, and Dorit's like, oh, my Chanel muse. If I knew I had to take them off, I maybe wouldn't have worn them. They're part of the outfit. Girl, show some respect and take your shoes off in her house, honey. And it looks like she did give them slippers, by the way, because they were outside and they had some like cozy slippers on that it looks like she gave them to wear. So it's not like she made them truck around in the backyard barefoot. But we see Dorit telling her side of the story as well. And it's really in sync with what I've already said at the beginning. Dorit is not taking no bullshit. She's standing on business. She don't believe, either do I, what Kyle is saying is her reason is why. And if those were her reasons, she's already said like that wasn't her intentions at Watch What Happens Live. But I don't hear Kyle saying that wasn't her intentions, or maybe she is saying it, right? She's saying that, well, I was upset about this, that's why I said it. I don't think that that's really the reason why. The little BravoCon situation is not why she kind of undermined or made their friendship seem like less than it was. We also see Dorit get honest that PK has not been staying in their house for a very long time. Now, I think we all knew that at the season finale, or the reunion, I should say. Sorry, guys, I put some eye drops in my eyes to keep the light and sensitivity from making my eyes feel weak. And I just feel like I have eye boogers now. So sorry, I don't think I do, but it's Sunday. I'm in a relaxed mode. Sorry. But anyway, yeah, Dorit gets honest in her conversation with Bose and Erica about, PK hasn't been staying there. She says she hasn't told the kids anything because it's normal, because he hasn't been staying there. He's been off and on staying there for so long now. They think that he's just working as part of the norm. So she hasn't really told her children what's happening. And finally, she gets honest because I think we all suspected it, right? At the reunion where it was already alleged, there was rumbling in the streets that he had been staying in the hotel and not staying there. And she's like, things are better than ever. And everybody on the stage, including us looking at the TV, was like, girl, what? Okay, if you say so. So she's getting honest this season. And I have to be honest myself. I do feel like, there was some rumble in the streets that Dorit was going to be demoted to friend of unless she was transparent about her marriage and PK and was what was happening. And as soon as that those rumors were out there is when we got the separation announcement, and that, we see this full transparency in the housewife show, because I think she was really in danger of losing her diamond and being demoted, or her saying like, you might not be on the show at all. We don't know what to do with you without a storyline of what's really happening in your life. And she took the route of, all right, I'm going to expose it all. I'm going to be transparent. So finally, we're getting some truths here on what was really happening with PK and Dorit. But I think we all suspected that he wasn't staying there for some time now. Um, what else? What else? Sutton has an idea. We saw this past episode, where she wanted to surprise Kyle with like a pajamas and pizza making party. Because after her conversation with Kyle, and just knowing that, Mauricio had moved out, she's in the house and it's a different environment, a different era for her. They wanted to be there and be supportive. And the girls gather. It's Erica, Sutton, and Kathy. They get together at Sutton's house to get everything together to go surprise Kyle at her house. Now, I'm not sure if Sutton was supposed to tell that piece of business that Mauricio had switched a picture in his office that used to be him and Kyle to him and the woman from Dancing with the Stars. That, again, there was some rumble in the streets that they could have been possibly dating. They were holding hands, stuff like that. So he switched the picture. I don't know if she was supposed to tell that tidbit of information, because it wasn't something that was aired in their conversation. Maybe it is something she talked about, and Kyle is, possibly okay with her sharing that or not, because it could have aired if that was part of their conversation, but it didn't. But also, I think that was part of the conversation with her and Sutton, for her to come back and tell that to Kathy and Erica, especially Kathy, her sister, who's going to be protective, who clearly this episode seemed like she doesn't like Mauricio. It's never felt like she's like Mauricio, but she's being really blunt about that. At least in this episode, I was like, okay, so did you get them together for pizza making or telling all Kyle's business? But we'll see. I'm hoping that Kyle is on Watch What Happens Live soon, or it's something that comes up on the reunion, even though we're 2 episodes in. But I just would love to be a fly on the wall when Kyle saw that part of the episode. But I also felt like maybe Mo changed the picture just as, okay, we're separating. This is a milestone in my life. This was something great I did. I didn't necessarily take it, and it could just be me, because I am kind of team Mo, where I want to see him happy and moving on. And I feel like Kyle made a mistake in leaving him and blowing up her marriage for Morgan. Not saying Morgan's, or allegedly for Morgan. We don't know that for sure. She's saying they're not dating, blah, blah, blah. But do I believe that? No. But I just would have not got up off my throne, at least for the reasons that she was giving us, that, oh, he's too busy, he's never home, I'm a homebody, he's always out working. At this point in the game, I don't know. I'm turning 40 this month. My birthday's in like 11 days or something like that. I I've already married for love. I've already married for support and patience. And I just feel like at this age, financial stability means more to me. I'm just being honest. And I would not have gotten up off my throne, to be honest, to go chase after a country singer. If my family, Maurice, we would have had to work it out. I'm not letting Maurice go. I'm sorry. So I am a little bit more team Maurice. And I just felt like when I saw the picture or the replacement of the picture, to me, it was more about him being on Dancing with the Stars. And this is his partner. And that's a huge accomplishment or a milestone that he'll never forget. I didn't take it as I'm dating this woman and I'm replacing the picture. I just don't see Mo doing that. You guys tell me when you're watching this video. You can comment on the video and let me know your thoughts. But Kyle was hurt. And I was also, I don't know, I'm confused by that because it seemed like she wanted this. She wanted to be separated. She wanted him to not be in the house or to, she's the one I felt like they grew apart, not necessarily Mo. But I guess when reality hits and you've been with someone so long and it actually happens and he actually moves out or replaces your picture, maybe it hits you a different way. But I was also thinking, don't she know Morgan's gonna get mad that you sad about Maurice on camera and not mentioning her name and all of that? Were you saying that she doesn't want her name mentioned? She didn't sign up to be reality TV show, but if I was Morgan, I'd be feeling some type of way if they really are dating. I think they are, but I'd be feeling some type of way seeing her be so sad about a replacement of a picture, honey. Like you got tattoos with Morgan on the show. But okay, girl, whatever you say. Um, but I truly didn't feel bad for Kyle for him replacing the picture. Just being honest. Um, we then see the pizza party, and it was clear to me that, like I said, Kathy does not care for Mo. She talks about how he had his Netflix real estate show, and she talks about how Mo talks about them on the show, talks about her husband or, people in their family. And she felt like he was doing it to boost his rating. She didn't like what he had to say. And it's clear to me that she's happy that Kyle is moving on or separating from him. Even in the whole, I think it even stems back to Kim and with Kim saying, "You stole my goddamn house." And Mo have something to do with that. I'm assuming because he's in real estate. I just think that both Kim and Kathy have always had, just my opinion, observations. They've had some disdain for Mo. And it was coming across to me in this episode that Kathy clearly does. I do think it was cool that they came over to chill with Kyle, even though I don't feel sorry for her. They're there to support her. And they made the pizza. The pizza looks great, though. I want one of them pizza kits, Sutton. Do a giveaway and give me one of them pizza kits because that was like gourmet pizza, honey. It was not giving DiGiorno. But they were there to support her with Mo recently moving out. And I thought that was cool. I really did. But now to the most interesting part of the episode was PK and Dorit having dinner after they announced their separation. This was like the first time that they've gotten together face to face since then. And Dorit said that after they announced the separation, PK went straight to a hotel. He came into the dinner looking like he was straight out of the Grease movie. He had a, brand new jacket and all black and trying to look, hip. I said, PK is outside. He ready to hit these streets with Mo, honey. He is outside. He probably, I'm not going to say no longer has to pay for it, but he's now buying clothes for himself instead of buying all the clothes for Dorit. And he's taking full advantage of it. He ain't got to buy no more rose colored Bentleys right now. He just came in kind of as if he was rubbing it in her face as well, but like my jacket. Yeah, I got, he moved out. He got all new clothes. And Dorit was feeling some type of way. She was kind of taken aback by like, okay, he's calling himself single PK. We just separated a few days ago. She's thinking they're separating under the intentions of separating, but to work on it, it seems like PK is on the page of separating to move on. Right. And she was really taken aback by that. But we finally get to, honestly, not finally, because I'm not happy about it, I would say, but we hear PK talk about his drinking. Because the first episode, I was like, damn, Dorit is really putting out there, he's alcoholic, he's alcoholic. She told Bose in the first 30 seconds of meeting her, she's telling everybody that information and we don't get to hear it from the person. That's really their business to tell. So I was like, in the first episode, I'm like, well, is this true? Because we've only ever heard her talk about he doesn't eat well, or, you know, we've never heard her mention his drinking. So it was like, is this her side of the story? But he did mention that he was using drinking as a coping mechanism, and now he can see straight, he can see more clearly that their relationship was toxic because he's not drinking. And Dorit says your drinking played a role in it. They would be really nasty to each other, low blows when they're arguing, saying mean and hateful things to each other. And he mentioned it as well, like the way we talk to each other. If a waiter was to come over here right now and we talk to each other how we were in the past, we would be kicked out of this restaurant. Here's my perception, right? PK said he felt emasculated, and we see this a lot in the housewives, let's be honest, where the women are usually in the shadows. Then they get on or their support system. He said it, going everywhere he went. Everywhere he went to work and fly, she was going with him. And it's not like that anymore. The women get on these shows, they become the celebrity. They're the one that everybody wants to get to know or shake hands with or get an autograph from. Even if the men weren't famous, they were the breadwinners, right? They were the head, and the women followed. And that's not the way it is anymore. Dorit, in my opinion, came more engulfed in this show. She wasn't just behind her husband anymore. She's doing her own things, her own ventures, her own bookings. She's not available. She's making money. And that may have also changed her attitude and how she talks to him. She put him down in those conversations, and him not being used to that. I can see where, number one, him coping with these changes by drinking, her attitude changing because she a boss now. I'm making money. It ain't just filled bikini lines, honey. I am making dollars. I'm on these shows. Everybody thinks I'm a fashion icon. I need more money to fund my fashion for this show. He's trying to keep up with the Joneses for her and working and having some resentment there. I can see how it can go from, wow, this is a couple that we thought was really in love, to a toxic mix. And that, in my observations, that's what I see happening here. Um, and I do think a drunk man tells no tales. That's how the saying goes. So some of the things that he was saying, or again, it was resentment that he was harboring, and really ways that he was feeling when they would be in these blow to blow arguments while he had been drinking. A drunk man don't tell no tales. That's how he was really feeling, in my opinion. Um, and at the end of the day, it's the curse of a housewife marriage. Like I said, just that stardom, that rocket to fame, how it can change the dynamics of your household and cause impacts. Um, Again, I said I do feel like Dorit is on the page of trying to reconcile the marriage while being separated, while PK is on the page of, I'm using this to move on. And she's saying, like, we talk on the phone 5 times a day. He had to check her and be like, well, so that's not how it's going to be going forward. We're not going to talk 5 times a day. We're going to break that codependency. You're going to learn to stand on your own. I'm going to do the same. And then we're going to figure it out from there. But it didn't sound like to me PK is looking to come back home. Just just how I took it. Um, it was sad too, because I don't think Dorit expected that. She's still calling him honey. She's in her head. We're married, we're separated, we're working out. And that just doesn't seem the page that PK is on. So we'll see more of their relationship dynamic as the season goes on. It was a good second episode. I'm seated for Beverly Hills. I think they are replacing Orange County for me right now, just because Salt Lake City is at the top of my list. Then it was OC. They're off now, and it seems like Beverly Hills is there. I'm interested in Garcelle's producing and her movies and seeing her grow. I'm interested in getting to know Bose. Erica, needs to tread lightly. She doesn't have much of a storyline, and it seems like she's inserting herself in between the middleman of Dorit and Kyle, which can get messy if you're not careful. So we'll see how that works out for her. Sutton, I think she's working through her things with Kyle, and they're trying to mend their friendship, but she's being honest with Kyle. She's not being a yes man and telling her, get on the right page with your marriage, get your paperwork in order. So I'm interested. I'm definitely interested in this season. It's starting off great, and those are my thoughts on the latest episode. I will put this episode up right now for you guys. So comment, even though it's not a live taping, we will have live tapings in the upcoming week. So again, set your alerts on Instagram, on Facebook. Make sure you set your alerts on YouTube and that you like, share, and subscribe so that you're in the know. Now, before I get out of here, as always, if you have a business or a product that you want me to promote on my pages, my promotional rates are on my page, as well as if you want to be a sponsor. I'm looking for sponsors for the podcast where I promote your business or product on all of my podcast shows. Interested in either, you can message me on Instagram, on Facebook. You can also email me at what you see right here above, reality_recap@yahoo.com. Also, if you want to support monetarily, you can do so through my Cash App, which is $reality recap, no underscore, but it's just like how you see it spelled up here. Thank you for your support so far. We continue to grow daily with followers on Instagram and Facebook and new subscribers on YouTube. I appreciate you guys so much and welcome. And again, how do you support for free? Follow, guys. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I appreciate you guys so much. And like I say before I end all my shows, reality TV stars are humans too. Don't forget that. I will see you with more updates, more recaps on Love and Marriage Huntsville, Bell Collective. I owe you guys that. Housewives of Potomac and Married to Medicine will be on tonight, so look out for that recap this week. And I'll see you guys later. It's your girl V with Reality Recap. Y'all have a happy Sunday. Enjoy.